Hello, welcome back to the Mystical Tarot reading. I'm Lily and here we are doing another topic. So this time the topic is about that, are you ready to love? So now it's the same thing, we'll be picked a card section. So I have already have a 3 set of the cards under my tables over here, and then pick one of the cards. If you need some time to think and to pick the card, just pause on the video and then you can just pick the card. So here's a 3 set of the cards in front of myself, and then we have different type of the shells on each of the card. So you can tell that which is easier for you and which is attract you, that you want to pick more, and which one is your like and which one's mean to you. So here we go. Here's a card number 1. Here's a card set number 2. And here is the card set number 3. So give yourself like around like a 10 minutes. Try to think about that and close your eyes like last time I told you. So which one is suitable for you? Here we go. For the card set number 1, who choose this card of the cell? This is for the card set number 1. So here is our reading for card set number 1. At the first, this is about what is your current feeling, what about yourself. And then the second one is talking about what you learned from your prior relationship, what you learned before in a relationship. And this one is like looking for what is holding on your back, anything that is holding on your back, and we're gonna look at it. And let me move a bit up. And here we're looking whether you are ready or not. Are you ready? Is your heart is ready? You need to know whether your heart is ready. And then here is a mind. Are your mind is ready to get on to the next relationship or still working on the relationship? And then the last one is about your spirit, whether you have ready for it. So here we go for the card set number 1. And we are looking for the card number 1. And for the card number 1 is the sun. For the card number 1 is the sun. And they show about that is the angels of happiness. This is a pretty good card. See, for the card number 1, here's the sun. And that's showing about that the angel of happiness. So we can tell from this card, did you see, there's like your current feeling about the relationship now, or what is your ideas to find like a partners. We can see it here, the angel of happiness. There's a horse like a unicorn. Like we know when we're young, we keep thinking about that. Yeah, unicorn is like what we like a story and what we like, especially for the girls. And then there's a like a guy, like a kid. They are holding the sunflower, and then they are standing on top of the unicorn, and they look like a happy and joyful, that kind of stuff. So can adhere the card number 1, we can tell your current feeling. You are like a happy about yourself, and you just feel like you like a kid, like a go back like a to the normal. You don't have any stressful thing, that kind of stuff. So it's good. It just looks so good. And what we can say for your ideas, like a partners that you want to find, is someone who is have a humors and can be sometimes like a kid, can be play with you, and then you just like a joyful, that kind of thing can make you feel like happiness, that kind of thing. And someone who can like a more enjoying about the life and in the interesting relationship. That's why for your person, if you're still singers and your ideal partners that you want to looking for is more likely about the like a person who can bring the humor, and you are just like humorous and you want an interesting relationship. Everything is not like repeating again and again, or maybe they're repeating again and again, but there's something will be bring you more likely some interesting things into your relationship. So this for the card number 1 about your ideal partnership and your current situation is like a happiness, that kind of thing. And for the card number 2, we are gonna to look about that. What you learn from your prior relationship. We can see like what you learn from your prior relationship. So from here, we have the Chariot. The Chariot, the angels of the guidance. See, the card number 2, what you have learned, you got a card, the Chariot, the angel of the guidance over here. From here, we can see about that. They have 2 of the horse, and there's a black and a white. So from the horse, like a black and a white, we mean that some kind in your conscious and unconscious stuff. And then, like a person, they have some shell over here, and they have some like a feathers. The first, like that kind of stuff. It means that the shell is just like they are like more likely would be like controlling themselves, and then they will be run forward, like a determined. They, no matter what's coming, they will protect themselves and go forward. Like because we say it's a chariot, so it means that like the person would like to more likely to be like brave and determined, go forward no matter what. So from here, the Chariot, what you learn from the past relationship, we can tell that you learn like how to be confident, like the guy, so confident to standing on the 2 of the horses on the top of them and look like confident no matter what is happening in the front, they go forward. So what you learn from the past relationship, you'll be more confident, more likely you are determined, like you learn from the past relationship. Maybe you are not that determined, but what you have learned from like your prior relationship, you know that you need to be determined. Sometimes like where we are living now is like instant noodles, everything we want to be fast, but it should be no, in a relationship they should be like more passionate and more determined, sometimes not giving up that easy. So from here, what you have learned from the past, you just know that you need to be more determined, and sometimes your emotion is out of control because something you can't control and you don't know how to do that, and your emotion can be ruined. And I got that feeling. So we need to know about that. You need, so what you learn from that, you learn from how do you determine, and then you also learn you how to be like a control on your emotions. From here, they have a shouting, they definitely determine. And here we already say unconscious and conscious. So you need to be balanced out your unconscious and conscious. You don't let any things like to take away each other. You need to be know how to work on your emotion, that kind of stuff. So from here we can see that's what you learned from the past. And then now for the card, this number 3, we know that what is holding you back. You don't want to step on to the next relationship. So we're gonna see that what is holding you back. So here we go. We have the King of Swords. For the like to say that what is holding for your back. The King of Swords, we can tell that the person actually they tell you is a decision making. Something is holding for your back. You have some sort. We know that when you have some sort, when you're cutting on yourself, that kind of thing, the sort, you feel like hurt. So we can know when you're holding back, you have been hurt a lot from your prior relationship. You don't know what to do. You feel a lot of upset. But do you see there's an ego over here? When the ego over here is telling you, you need to be like smart, like be sharp, like what you're doing, the think. You have a clean thinking from your personal. You have like a good thinking, like eagles. You can see through everything. Like an eagle, before they go to like grab their food, they'll be on the air, like on the sky, just have doing a few rounds to look is that the timing is right. So you're smart, you know what you need to do. When you want, you be go onward and straight to game. But the thing is, what is holding you now? Not to be flying over like a king or swords, like to make a decision now, is you feeling insecure now. You just like scare everything out of the control again. That's why it's just like make you just like holding you back a lot. You don't know what you need to do from that one of the thing, because everything's out of your balance. So that's why it's holding you back. So from here we can see for the card number 4 is about your readiness, the readiness of your heart. You need to see whether your heart is ready or not. 5 of Cups is a sadness. 5 of Cups is the sadness. We can see here they have mentioned about the sadness. So from here we can tell about that you are not ready to move on to the next relationship, because it's sadness. 5 of Cups, and here they're telling you it's a sadness. You're feeling so much of the stress about that, so you are not ready. You are just still stuck over there. You don't know what you want to do. You just like feeling, because at here we can tell you are feeling insecure, everything. And here, because they are out of balance, and then you don't know what to do. You feel like insecure. You just feel sadness. You are not ready. Even from the if you just break up, you're not even ready yet, because you still like stuck yourself inside the past. Even what you have learned from the past, you learn you need to be determined. You learn you need to be like determined and try to control your emotions. But the thing is, you learn from it. It's the like a purpose for you to learn from the pure relationship. But you stuck over there. You couldn't let yourself get out from that situation. That's why at here, they're telling that your heart is not ready. You are not ready to move on to the next relationship, because it's a sadness over here. That's what we can tell. But the thing is, if you don't move out from the situation, you can have a problem for the permission for the longer term. If you try to move on now, then you will have like that problem like in the temporary. I know even that takes some time to process, but the life is still going on, so it's better to moving on. Like you are sadness, but definitely something is not under your control, and it's sometimes it couldn't blame on yourself. You should be move on, and then we'll be saying that like here, if you not feel ready for the next of the relationship to find another love, so just let yourself to be like rest a bit. When you are ready, then you be go forward. And we can see for the card number 5 over here is about our mind, our readiness of the mind. So from here we can tell is the 6 of the Swords, resolution. Here is the 6 of the Swords, resolution. So from here we can tell about that even you feel sadness in your heart, but your mind is processing good. They're like weird, and your mind is just like in the peace now. You won't be have the too much of the emotion out and down. Even you feel like you still like hurt a lot, you still feel sad, but your mind is just like a working like a peace mind. And then it's a decision to make now, to be honest, because you can't be like a stay like a keep holding yourself back from like a pure relationship after you break up everything. It's not good for your health. It's not good in your relationship. And sure, you just like you need to move on. If you don't move on, someday your emotion will be out of control again. you couldn't control your emotion. At that time, you'll be feeling worse than now. So that's why it's here. That tells like your mind, even you are peace in the mind, and you are trying to facing on it, you feel like a bit uncomfortable at the movement because everything is changing, and your mind is just like working on it. So just make sure that let yourself facing on it and take the time. Don't need to be rushed, because if you move on from the sadness, if you make an effort to go through over it from your pure relationship, what you have heard, then you will be doing good in the future. You'll be finding someone better as well. Everything will be back to normal if you process from here. Your mind, if you process well everything, you don't feel the sadness anymore, then you'll be doing good. You'll be back to normal from everything. And here we are going to look for the last card, number 6, and it's about the spirit. So it's like about like whether your readiness of the spirit, whether you are ready. It's a Knight of the Pentacles. It's about the trust. So what your spirit is telling us now at here, your spirit is ready, but the problem is you just like want to be under trust. Did you see it here? Now of Pentacles, there's a guy and with the cow, and the guy is touching for the cow, so it means that they're trying to be like under trust from each other, so they won't hurt from each other. That's why you are just like healing from here. You're just trying to healing. And what is your spirit is telling you? Your spirit is still like working on it. It's not really ready yet, but can tell your spirit try to work on your trust to make you to put yourself back to the normal and make you to trust someone. It's not like going back like saying that no, I just want to move back relationship and like a pure relationship and ending happen again and again. So that's why the spirit is telling you now you need to move on, and then they just like it's time you need to find the trust to your spirit and try to work on it. You need to trust someone. That's why you need to have find someone who is a trustworthy partner here as well. And then can tell that your spirit here can tell that you still believe in the love, but you not ready to be in the love yet, because from here we have the sadness. So your heart is not ready and your mind is like a peaceful, but the thing is it's not that peaceful because you still work on it. So we can tell in this deck, like a card set number 1, the person in the card set number 1, you are not ready yet to go on to the next relationship or to have a love yet. And overall, like a summary from here, we can see you are the person like a happy one, and you also want to find ideal partner. Is more likely is like a humorous one, have an interesting of the relationship. The kind of stuff can bring you something like a kid, to make you like a kid and make you happy, that kind of thing. And what you learn from the past, you learn how to be more confident and more likely to be determined, and you need to control your emotion as well, because sometimes actually you can be like, see, if you like a kid like a station, sometimes you can be out of control your emotion as well. That's why you want to find the partners like a kind of like a can be same with you, but the thing is they can be out of control, that doesn't work out. And what's holding you back, you just feel like insecure, you don't want to move on, and then you are not ready yet to go forward. Even you have a clean taking everything, but you feel like insecure, you're still not sure about it, like whether this will be someone is really worth your trust or anything. And here's we have seen the sadness. So that's why when I say it's not ready, because you are sadness and your mind even says peaceful, but you still work on it, you are not ready yet. That's why you need to work on your spirit And that's why the spirit here is telling you, your bodies and your spirit, the universe is trying to work on you, trying to bring you to go back to the normals and let you to trust the person and let you to find like the ideal person that you like who's bring you the joys, like have some humors and some kind like a interesting relationship. So from the card set number 1, you are not ready to be in the next relationship. You're still working on it. But believe me, you will be go through it. If you let yourself to go through it, you will be feeling happy. You'll be back to normal. And it's a worth thing that you already learned from your pure relationship. So let yourself be happy. So here we go. For the person who choose for the card set number 2, here is like a marbles, like a rock, and it's a white one, a bit shining. That's what you choose for the card set number 2 person. So we are doing today for the first card. Here we go. For the first one is talking about yourself and what's your ideal partnership, that kind of stuff. And then for the second one, we are talking about what you have learned from your pure relationship, what you have learned from the pure relationship. And from the third one, we are knowing about that what is hold your back, whether you are what is holding your back, like why you don't want to move forward for the next of the relationship. And another one, number 4, is about that whether your readiness of your heart, are you ready for are your heart is ready to move on. And here is about your mind. What is your mind thinking now, and how is your mind is like back to the normal to process to the next relationship, or you are not. And then here is the spirit. The last one is the spirit. So here we go for the card set number 2 and number 1. And from what yourself and your ideal partnership is 7 of the Wands, the challenge. Here we go, 7 of the Wands, the challenge. See, here is a challenge, what they mean. So we can tell like a person, you are like a person who really like to challenge a lot. So you are the person who have the brave and courage to making the stuff to will be person to step forward. So can tell that you want the ideal partners who have like that kind of the breath and the courage to step forward than you, and then to like maybe adventures together, that kind of stuff, and like sounds kind of like a fire size, and would make you more likely to be like a move forward. Like maybe you say that, yeah, I want to do the skydive, and then you'd be like, step forward, yeah, we can do together. Like they have the ideal partners who is more likely like to challenge. So then they are not easy to giving up the kind of the person. So that's why your ideal partners you want to find is like the kind of the ideal partners. They are not easy to giving up, and you like to challenge on it. So you like to challenge on each other, and sometimes you might be like to have a little bit of the fight from each other's. There's a good fight, but sometimes when there's two over, they can lead to another way. This will be out of control. But so we can tell for your ideal partners is about someone who like to challenge, and then who is not easy to giving up the kind of the thing. And we can see for the card number 2 is about the what you have learned from your pure relationship. Knight of Cups, blessing. Knight of Cups, blessing. Here we go. For the number 2, there's a Knight of Cups. Is about the blessing over here. So it means that you are feeling blessed from your pure relationship. what you have learned from the pure relationship, you're feeling blessed. So you learn how to appreciate the thing, how to appreciate your partners to put the effort on you and maybe teach you something, that kind of stuff. So it's a good thing. We show you that you are like a happy about like a person, like that, a kind person, like can be said like that, because you are easy to like appreciate a thing and what they do for you. You happy, you appreciate it. So that's a good thing. What you learn from the past, it's good to know that. And even you know how to love yourself at here. You know how to love yourself because what you have learned from your partners, that kind of thing. And that's a good thing from here, what you have learned from the past, because you know about the blessing. It's a good sign. I would like to love the story. And we can know about the card number 3 is about the what you hold your back. You are blessing. And here we go. You have the Queen of Wands. Here we go. We have a Queen of Wands, and then telling about you is a creativity. What is holding on your back? Queen of Wands. In a Queen of Wands, you try to be like a too much of the imagination, because might be something is holding you back because you have too much of the imagination, and you scared that there is not happening, like maybe the person you met is not like from what you expected, that kind of thing. That's why what's holding on your back is like a Queen of Wands is here, because you imagine like how the future should be happening. Everything is in the expectation, but the thing is there might be you are too afraid. You are afraid everything's out of your control. That's why it's just like holding you back to not let you move on to the next relationship. Also, you afraid maybe you are not understand each other because you need to start a new type of relationship, and then you don't know like what you should be like. You just feel like you don't know each other because you need to get know from beginning or anything, and you feel like everything is far from you and the person that you're not familiar. So that's why you're afraid you don't know each other, and might be you lose yourself. You don't know what you want from at this stage. So that's why it's holding from your back. And we can see for the card number 4, it here is telling about your readiness of your heart. Your readiness of your heart is about the star. It's the angel of the hope. There's about the angel of the hope. We can see it here. There's a star right here, definitely. So this a star. And then there's a ladies holding 2 of the bottles of waters. One is going to the back, one is going for the present. So from here, it's telling that what is going through, like the waters falling back from the ladies, is just like it's meant for your past. It's about your past. And then what is falling forward over here at the front is mean like a present, what you currently like working through on it. But did you see that the waters from the past is going through back to the present? If you work through on it, you can know that you will be feeling like growing up, because like if you have from the past what you conclude up and what you learn from it, and you combine with the present and what you not need to do again and what you can do, so they help you to grow up a lot. So that is a good thing. But here we can see, because you're still working in a progress, and here is the like the past going through the present, so it's mean that you're still working on it, and then you're trying to be healing on it from your pure relationship, which you are not like fully ready to move on to the next relationship because you're still working on it, healing on it. That's why I say, if you want what is from poor from the past and to the present, you need to work on it. if you go through this of the obstacle, you'll be have a greater reward because you'll be learn yourself what position you need to put in a relationship and what kind of ideal person you want. You'll be know about yourself, and you definitely will be recovers from it. We can tell about it. If you recover from it, you are like a person who is happy because you learn what you know, and then you also will be more like an independent of the persons in the relationship as well. So we can tell you are not fully ready yet to proceed to the next of the relationship. And for the card of the number 5, if telling about that, what is the readiness of your mind? So the readiness of your mind is the S of the Pentacles, is the S of Pentacles, and is telling about you the abundance. The abundance. So from here we can know S of the Pentacles, abundance. You need to abundance from the past. You couldn't keep holding yourself. So this is what your mind is telling you. Your mind is already ready, is nearly ready that to tell you that yeah, abundance everything. So you are trying to abundance for your past. If you abandon for the past and your mind is telling you to do that, we need to know if you abandon it, you'll be definitely miss someone. It's a new one, and you also your mind is ready for you to step on to the new starting point, to meet someone new, and someone might be you are interesting as someone who fit for your ideal partners over here. So here's the thing. Your mind is ready, but your heart is trying to working it because you are still on the healing over here. So at here, but your mind is already waiting for you. Come on, here's we are working to the next step now, and then we need to abundance from the past, and now it's a new of the journeys. You need to go on to the next one. That's why, and you got all of the support over here. Your mind is telling you, you got all of the support. So it's a good thing your mind is ready. And what we can see in the spirit over here is about Queen of Pentacles, the comfort. Queen of Pentacles is about the comfort. So we can tell about them. Your spirit is more like a intellect. You just more likely is like a smart person. Your spirit is very smart. They ask you to be smart over there. And then you need to be like a person who like to cares on others. You like the person who like to care on others, because you see they have a rabbit over here, and you just like looking over the rabbit. So you are just like a person who be care about like a small things, like an animatic of things. So your spirit trying to take care of you, and it's just telling you like that you have been take care, so you don't need to be worrying. And then you will be like you are like a wisdom person. Your spirit will be like bring you to there and bring you back to like a which you feel more comfort about that thing. So it's a good sign over here. So from here, like a summary of the talk, we can tell on the deck, we can tell you about that. You want to find the ideal person who like to be challenged more, and then not like an easygoing up person. And it's a good thing. You appreciate what you learned from the past. You feel like a blessing, and you appreciate from the past like a partners everything who put the effort for you. But from here we can know you are too much overthinking. You are just like imagine like what kind of person you want. Maybe something if they're out of your expectation a little bit, you will not be happy about it. You need to try to be sometimes lose a bit of the control and not too much of the overthinking. So that's why you need to be learn how to appreciate everything, and you maybe your ideal partners to teach you that the challenge. You need to teach you that like sometimes you need to be out of your comfort zone. You don't overthink about it. And the angel of the heart is telling that your heart is still like working on it, like healing on it. But the thing is, Your spirit and the mind is ready. Your spirit tells you that abundance from the past and you will be working good in the future. You definitely will be have a new journey. It's like a good starting. And the Queen of Pentacles is telling you you are comfort. The spirit is good. It's over there for you. And you are just likely that you taking care of you. Just let yourself to be like a healing from this stage. And overall, I can see this card is nearly to the end of their healing and ready for the next relationship, even they are not ready yet. But I can tell there's a good sign because you're working on it. Even something is make you uncomfortable, but remember, is they will be being good. Everything after that, you'll be doing good. So there's a good sign. And here is for the card set number 2. Here is about for the card set number 3. We are talking about the card set number 3 person and who choose this shell. This is the shell for the card set number 3 person and who you are choosing for this. So here we go. For the first card, we are talking about what is your feeling and what is your ideal partners. And then this one, we are talking about what you have learned. And the next one is what you have holding your back. What is the thing is holding your back from the past relationship? And then from here is the readiness of your heart, readiness of your mind, and readiness of your spirit. Let us look for the number 1. Is about your ideal partners and what is your feeling. So for the number 1 is about the 6 of the Pentacles, generosity. And for the 6 of the Pentacles, it's a 6 of the Pentacles about the generosity. So here we go. We can tell that what is your ideal partners from here for the 6 of Pentacles of the generosity. It's about that you want to find someone who is likely to be arrangement for you. So they are good at arrangement and they'll be taking the things one by one, step by step to doing the kind of stuff. So your ideal partners you are trying to finding is about like someone who is like to arrangement. You also try to looking like, do you see like a tree like a separate of the coin? So you want to find someone who is also to be fair to the other people. So in the relationship, you're trying to find a person who like to arrangement, also be fair to other people. No matter you're fighting, you're financially, we are have a like separate bill or anything, we are fair to each other. That's what you are looking for your ideal partners. If you want to have this kind of the ideal partners like arrange for you or like even have a fair to others, sometimes they can be a little bit controlling on someone. So you need to be careful on that, like for what you're looking for your ideal partners, because they might be a bit too controlling on the others people's. So this is what you're looking for your ideal partners. And we can see what you have learned. From here, we see about 6 of Wands, recognition. 6 of Wands, recognitions at yours, and we can see about that 6 of Wands. So from here, what you have learned from the 6 of Wands, you just learn about that you need something like a 6 of Wands. You learn about that you need to have some of the support from the what you learn from the pure relationship. You need some support for it at shares, and you also need to be confident, because you're not confident is enough over here. And also some kind like a secure Maybe at the past relationship, you're not feeling that secure. That's why it's causing you break up, or even too much of the thing you're thinking too much. So that's why you need some support. You need to be confident over here, and something like a secure thing. You need to find someone who is the high standard, is not like a grading down. Maybe it's like a relationship that what you met is not same standard with you. Maybe you are the person requires like a high standard one, and they are not the same standard with you. That is why you are need to looking for someone who is have a same standard or even higher standard with you, which can teach you to be more likely. And we can see what is hold for your back. Eight of the Pentacles, dedication. Here we go. We got the Eight of Pentacles, and here's a dedication. Did you see? Here's a dedication. So from the Eight of the Pentacles, something is holding your back. Maybe it's because of that, like a promise, that kind of thing is not working, and you are afraid to make a promise to someone, or someone did promise you and they never did it, they never do it, and that is why you're just afraid about the things, like to commit into the next kind of relationship and make a promise, or even someone make a promise to you. You are not that trusted person anymore, like out of your credit. The thing is like what the commit is, they promise you is out of your credit, or that kind of thing. And you also don't know that like how to maintain the relationship, like to make it to go further, like a longest one. You don't know how to maintain it. Maybe that's why it's holding you back. You don't want to step further on it. You just like looking over there. Maybe it's not the right time, and you don't want to go forward for the next of the relationship. And you can be tell sometimes you're just like a perfection person. Now, like an edge, you just do you see like all the coins like a line. It just like mean that maybe you are the person who like want the perfections, everything want to be perfect, anything. And maybe something there's like if there's a little bit of the mistake, maybe you couldn't stand on it. So that's why it's holding you back. And we can see it here, what is your readiness of your heart? And the readiness of your heart is Two of Pentacles. From the Two of Pentacles, you are juggling. So since we have a Two of Pentacles, like we can tell you are like a person trying to hold two things together. You're trying to be balanced the things out, because your heart is telling you now you couldn't balance it. You try to be holding like what I'm doing now. I try to balance the thing out now, and you need to be like a work on the practicals to make your hearts feel better. Like maybe something you need some material need, the kind of stuff. Like one is your heart, another one thing like depends what you need, like a material need or anything, or like a more like a money, the kind of stuff, or even shopping, which can make your heart is feel better. But remember, sometimes if you putting a lot, they can be out of balance. One is can be more and one is can be going down, and sometimes too much and they'll be out of the control. Like if that's why your heart is saying over there, you are just trying to balance out. But depend what kind of thing you are putting on the balance. If you are putting like if you are sad and you're putting something over here, you try to balance it with your financials. One day your financial will be empty, and even your heart is feeling like fulfilled, but actually you are not. You still feel like a loss. That's why you need to find something like they work to balance out. And there is like a tool, like you need to find the secures. When you balance out, you feel like, yeah, I have my financial support, I have my feeling, my heart is already stable, I'm not like that sadness anymore, not confusing anymore, like I feel secure. Then we can say that you already balance out, because you are not afraid anymore. You are not trying to be balanced, like should I buy more stuff and make myself feel good, that kind of stuff. You don't need that thing. So continue over here. Your readiness for your heart is like a depend. I can't be said like that you are already ready for it or you are not ready for it, because it depends on your person. It can be ready, it cannot be ready. If like say that you are currently now, you're feeling like everything is already balanced now, like you don't need more, you don't need anything, and your financial is good and yourself is feeling okay and that kind of thing, then you are like your readiness of your heart is already enough. But if you're not feeling balanced, you feel something lost, some kind of like of thing, then which means that you are not ready yet for your hearts to move on to the next relationship. And we can see over here for the card, this one number 5 is telling about your mind, the readiness of mind. From here, we have the lovers, the angels of the commitment. So from here, the lovers, the angel of the commitment, you still believe in the like a love relationship, that kind of the story. So your mind is already ready. It's telling you that yeah, your mind is ready. You want to move on to the next of the step, like the next of the relationship, or even to be with someone, because your mind is telling you, yeah, I'm ready. I want to commit into the my next relationship, into my love relationship. That's why it here is showing that your mind is already ready. You want to be make that commitment. But however, we need to know, even you just like ready to commit, but when you in a relationship, don't keep like a doubting on other person. If you keep doubting on other person, your relationship will not be whole for the longest. So that's why you need to be to be considered, like, are you ready to the commitment? Is you are feeling stable now, you are balanced out now. If your heart is feeling balanced, you are not doubt anymore or anything, then your mind is there telling you, yeah, you can move on to the next one. You already ready for your mind to move on to make a commitment in the next relationship. And then from here is about the spirit, your readiness of the spirit. So we can tell your readiness of the spirit is about the will. And the will is telling you there is the angel of destiny. The angel of destiny over here. And then we can tell about that. It's the wheel of fortune is mean that, did you see, like there's a wheel over here, and we can tell like which mean that everything's like what they move now, they'll be moved back to you. Like the thing is what you like a want, like a before, what you desires, what you wish for, everything will come to you. And shirts, we can see the swords over here, there's some star over here like a moon, and there's some book, and there's some verse, which mean that you like a different, they have difference of the units inside about the tarot, like a swords, like a cup, the cup thing. And then it mean that at the movement, whole of the universe is already reach you, is already coming to you. So the spirit is already readiness, because all the universe is standing on your point at the movement. No matter what you wish for and what is your destiny for it, you will get through of it. So your spirit is telling you, if you want to be involved in a relationship, you have a high chance you can be involved in a relationship, and that will be in a good way, because the wheel of fortune is go to you. The fortune, the good fortune is come to you. You might be not used to it, but the thing is, it's your fortune, and they are coming towards you. And that's why in the whole thing they're telling you like that. And share your ideal partners, you want to find someone who like to arrange and who is more likely to be like a bit controlling, but make sure that not too much. There's a thing, because they can be out of the balance, and someone who will be fair to other people. So that's why there's your ideal partners, what you want to looking for. But the thing is, what you learn from here, from your past, you learn you need to be insecure. And at here, you just want to be like a hide your head up because you need to have a high standard. You have learned from it from your past. You have like a dead stand. You have a high standard over yourself. So you need to find someone who is the same standard with you or slightly higher than you. And remember, you also need to have some support from your partner, that kind of thing. That's what you learn from the relationship. And at here, what is holding from your back? It's just like maybe sometimes you're too perfection. You couldn't make a mistake. So if someone make a mistake, you will be reject them. So maybe sometimes you need to be let it go a bit. Not like the too control too much like a perfection, that kind of the stuff. Even they're good, like have a high standard. But sometimes we still need to be let ourselves go a bit. And then like more likely you need to be in like a deck of promise thing. You maybe someone promised you or you promised someone and didn't work it out, and then that's why the pure relationship happens, and that's hold you back and to think about it, whether someone will be doing their commitment, that kind of the thing for you. That's why you are afraid here. And Two of Pentacles, they are uncertain. Like we can't tell your heart is ready or not, but if you feel balance from it, you balance out that the pentacles, the two things on your hand, then you are ready. If you not balance it, then you are not ready for it. So from here, that's what we can tell. Because you try to balance the things out, you need to practical on it, like going to test it out, like that kind of thing, like which one should I do, which one I shouldn't do. That kind of thing, you need to handle it like a financials or anything in a relationship, which one you're trying to be putting more, that kind of stuff, or you have already balanced on it. And you definitely need to balance your secure as well, like with your heart, that kind of thing. Otherwise, you won't be ready to move on to the next of the relationship. Over here, and the Lovers, we know there's the angels of the commitment. So from the angel of the commitment, you need to be know that, so your mind is telling you are ready to move on to the next relationship. You're trying to be make the commitment, and you try to, so your mind is like already ready for you, and you want to commit to each other. You find someone already support and you feel secure, that kind of thing. So yes, you can go forward. And the spirit is here to tell you that when you already decide to go forward, your spirit is telling you the universe is there for you, and everything's like what you decided to do is in a good way, and you have a high possibility in the love relationship, in the relationship with someone that you love. So there's overall about the number 3, the card set number 3, and it's a good card, I can say that. And thank you.